Good evening, everyone. It's your boy Shad, and we are back with the Sunday Night Spotlight, where we review everything in professional wrestling this week. Man, we got a great episode today. We got some great topics that are next to me. We got some dope highlights of the week. And most importantly, we have an amazing panel tonight. I got two of my favorite people out there that I love to work and talk wrestling with. We are going to first kick it off to Louisville, my brother, my tag team partner. You know what I'm talking about? One half of the best team on Tuesday nights. Dryzyy, how you doing, bro?
Good morning, afternoon, and evening. It's the guy you should believe in, Drizzy, aka Plug Funny, the wrestling plug. You sitting at home looking at the window, looking outside, don't know what to watch? Hit me up. I got you.
Yes, sir, for sure, for sure. And we was talking earlier. He's gonna get me connected on some anime that I haven't seen yet too. So Dre is definitely the plug. We've had a fun week too, bro. Just talking on the chat about it's G1 season and whatnot too. So our New Japan chat been going crazy. But last but not least, the goat, bah, the person who I'm so sad I did not to get to do a daily episode with this week, but that's gonna change this week. I'm
Yes,
gonna go outside of the Wrestling Republic building protesting so me and this person right here, Megan, can get on the show. How are you?
I'm doing well. Um, I'm doing good, and I'm glad to be here with two of my favorite people. It's feeling very I'm feeling like we're like Hurt Business 2.0, maybe 3.0. It's feeling very prideful here, so I'm just
Mm.
happy to be here with my two favorite guys.
I like that, and I'm definitely gonna make a meme of that with you as BFAB. Who you want? You want to be Taz or Angelo?
I've been told I look like Dawkins, so I take Dawkins.
Okay. Nah, for sure. And they're not even I gotta admit, they had a fun match last night too, so salute to them. Salute to BFAB, by the way, man. That's
Yes,
someone I'm really happy for that's getting ample amount of television time.
Let me tell
Uh
you, whenever I see her, I make sure I tweet the chat. Hey, look at her. Look at
that's
her.
right.
for sure,
That's
man.
right.
For sure. She's a star, bro. And I've been saying that since like the Hit Row days. Like even my wife, she's like, I love that Hit Row song because the girl saying the Hit Row and rapping on the first verse.
Yeah.
Like she really be styling on it. So and she's not even a spotlight topic, but that's we love to give flowers over here. Um and
The
yeah,
nigga
man.
cost. Nigga give us the cost of flower shop.
Hey, I
Yeah, that's
like
what
Yes,
we
that.
doing. We
you
giving
know.
out flowers.
And might I add that all the former members of Hit Row is all doing their own thing and on four separate brands. But if you think
Yes.
of all of them, they all got something going on. So,
Thriving.
shout outs to all of the guys.
That is true. That is actually a great point. B-Fab killing on SmackDown. Ashanti the Adonis is literally my
Yes,
favorite
he is going
character.
through the women in NXT right now. He is just going through them. And then of course, AJ, Dollar Bill, Dollar
Killing on
Dollar.
TNA.
And then, of course, our AEW heavyweight champion, Swerve Strickland. So, yes,
Yes,
shout outs
sir.
to all of them.
Yes, sir. Swerve, swerve. He still got to get that Shaka Khan song at some point this year.
Oh
Like,
my! The
I,
moment that I don't know if it's gonna hit like it. I don't know if everybody's in tune to even know what that's gonna mean when that hit. When
you're
you hear
right.
that, ain't nobody like,
I
oh,
love that. I used, man, sh- Swerve Shane Strickland as an independent when that was hitting, like I remember I was like, yo, this dude is such a boss. And yeah, like you said, all four of them doing great stuff. Ashanti the Adonis does remind me of like Will Smith and Fresh Prince, like just flirting with all the girls and type of stuff. So salute to him. But let's start off the show and let's start off with the first topic. Uh, with our spotlight, and this one is gonna go to me first. I am spotlighting the Ace of Marigold, the new acquitted Ace, in my opinion, because Julia is gonna be going to the WWE. That is not a spoiler. That is something that has been documented. Um, and it is Sareee, and that is a wrestler who was formerly on NXT. Uh, Sareee is one of the best professional wrestlers in the planet this year, and that's not me exaggerating at all. Hard hitting, hard striking, gives you everything that you love with that Joshi style. And she's absolutely on a tear this year. She's a champion. She beat Julia for the title, and they had an absolute classic. And it's been a couple weeks since they had that match, but I really feel like it's important to spotlight her because this is someone that I can confidently say WWE fumbled on as a superstar. And you think about her initial signing on NXT with William Regal announcing her, it was a lot of excitement, right? This is someone who has big comparisons stylistically to someone like Asuka when it comes to as a striker, just a technical savant as a professional wrestler. And it didn't really click for the booking wise for them. The fans loved her a lot initially in the black and gold portion, but once we got to 2.0, it got really muddy. I don't even want to talk about the stereotypical booking they gave her and stuff like that, but it made her, want to kind of get out of WWE. They granted her request and she went back to Japan. And since she's gotten in Japan, she's been on the absolute tear from what she was doing in Stardom to what she's doing in Marigold now. She is someone that is, if you haven't seen her previously before, I would highly recommend watching her because she brings an element to professional wrestling that I think any wrestling fan would like to see. And with WWE having working relationship with Marigold, I would love to see her get an opportunity to work with WWE stars either in Japan, right? There's like a ton of dream matches. Like, we're sending people over there. Her and EO can run it. I would love to see that. Her and Kyrie can run it. I would love to see that. Shayna Baszler. Like, there's a lot of people that you can send over there. Natalia. But I would like to see her get an opportunity to wrestle back in NXT. Even if it's not like, her as a signed roster member, but just to see her back in there because I think that she was on a trajectory that was going to be a potential star and that it's unfortunate that she didn't get to do that because she was in the same mix of like the Tiffany Strattons or even before that as well, right? So it's something that is of major interest to me, but I just want to give her a spotlight because man, we got a couple women that we're going to talk about today that may not be looked as to people in the general public as a women's wrestler of the year. She's got to be in the conversation because the amount of matches she's had this year in Japan, on top of like just the incredible title reign she's starting with and what can continue, I think the sky's the limit for her. So my spotlight is Sareee. What y'all got for me?
Um, I wasn't very familiar with her, but I did watch one match that she had with Dakota Kai. It was like a 13-minute match, and I saw her ability, I saw her talent, I saw how much of a talented wrestler that she is. Um, yeah, it's kind of sad to think of the direction that they had for her while she was in NXT. I mean, if she left, 2 years ago, but to just think of who she could be facing today if she was still there. Would she be facing Roxanne? Would she be facing the likes of um my name, the name skipped me, but it's so many talented women in NXT that she really could face, or she could be in the main roster. She could be facing the likes of, you could run up the match between her and Zoe Starks again. You could run up the match between um her and Dakota Kai, or she could go up against new faces like a Nia Jax, like a Bianca Belair. Um, but you know, I have to admit, definitely after seeing CM Punk come back, I'm not so sure that a person would not come back. I think he's like the biggest example of someone who went on air multiple times said they would never come back, took a whole decade away, and now they're having the best run of their life. They're having the best time of their life. So um I'm not voting against her coming back. you know um I think if they could show to her and prove to her that this time will be different, and that they will take into consideration her build up, and the direction that they really want her to go this time around. I think she would have a wonderful run, and I think she can hold a title as well. So yeah, but if she chooses not to, that's also fine, because we see the immense talent out there in Japan, and they're doing really good without us. I mean, they don't necessarily need, WWE or AEW to succeed. I mean, they're doing absolutely fine out there. So, um, just whatever she chooses,
For
I'm
sure.
supportive of it.
Nah, for sure. I definitely agree with you on that. Um, sometimes it's that case like with a lot of wrestlers. It's like what happens when you leave, right? What's your next move?
Right.
And she's one of those cases that I feel like she's only boosted her stock after leaving the WWE. Yesterday's price is not today's price, is the saying, right? Her
That's
Bingo.
price is
right.
her price is completely different now than what it was 2 years ago. And I love
Yep.
that point that you mentioned. Driz, you got anything in regards to
Uh,
Sareee?
More so just to piggyback off everything Megan says, the beautiful thing about wrestling now, there's so many more places to go. You can go to TNA, go have a couple of good feuds with Tasha Steeles, Jordan Grace,
Yeah.
Giselle Shaw. You go to MLW, Janai Kai, uh, I can't even think anybody else that's over there right now. You can go to AEW
Yeah.
and you got Britt, you got Mercedes.
Mercedes.
Like it's just so many different places you go. WWE is no longer the end all be all for wrestling,
That's true.
especially
That's
when you're
true.
dealing with women wrestling. There's so many different places. And what you said, yesterday's price is not today's price. If she does go back, she won't be a Power Ranger this time, because essentially that's what she was
Right.
in NXT, and I'm pretty sure that rubbed everybody the wrong way. But she'll
Yeah.
definitely come back, and we might even get a few one-offs with Stephanie Valcour, uh, Julia when
Yeah.
she comes in there. Like it's all potential things that could happen,
Yeah,
but she's definitely in the best place right now. Go anywhere.
for sure.
Amen.
No, for sure. And I mean, everything is in perspective of what she wants to do, obviously too, and that's the most important thing. But yeah, I think I gotta give her, her spotlight. Like I said, awesome year. If anybody hasn't seen it, her and Julia is one of my favorite women's matches this year too. So, big ups to her. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that is that topic. We got our next topic, and this is something that I absolutely loved yesterday. Our OTC, people's going crazy for it. Throw the ones up.
Tribal Chief.
I
Tribal
usually throw the
Chief.
twos up, but I'll throw my ones up. The tribal chief Roman Reigns is getting a spotlight. I would
Yes.
love to hear what you got to say about it, Megan.
Well, let's go back to last week when he returned at SummerSlam. I think we all kind of suspected that he was going to come back because, Solo had too much dip on his chip. He thought he was going to win the title after calling himself the tribal chief. He had helped his cousins win a tag team belt. Like he really put on shoes way too big for him. And Roman had to come and remind him like who the real original tribal chief is. And in my opinion, after Roman is done dealing with Solo and Tonga and Tama and Jacob, I think he is going to run it back with Cody, and I think he's going to remind Cody like you wouldn't have had that title if it wasn't for me. So, um, can't wait for that face off. It seemed like they're gonna make us wait for that, and that's fine. Handle your business with your family first. then you pick it up with Cody again. But last night it was really good. They made us wait into the last 10 minutes of the show, which shows Roman's. It just shows his not so much the desire, but his worth. That you're going to sit, you're going to wait for him. And he came out, and like it was mentioned earlier, he didn't say a word. He didn't utter one syllable. He came out and he beat up Tamatanga. He beat up Tangaloa, his one eye self. And then he commenced the butt whipping on Solo. But I can see what they're doing with this. I can see that they're going to stretch this out until Bad Blood. Um, I'm guessing between now and October, there's going to be layers of this story unfolding, possibly more returns. We're waiting for Jimmy to come back. We're waiting to see if The Rock comes back. He made a promise that he wasn't going to be too far. And I do understand that Jacob got injured during his appearance on SummerSlam, but it kind of made me think, what if they play this differently? Because I know a lot of people had assumed that possibly Jacob is working for Roman, and he was noticeably missing yesterday. So I wonder if they're going to play the idea that Jacob really is on Roman's side. Um, but only time can tell. Maybe he wasn't there because he really was injured. But I can see them kind of playing it that way, you know? So, yeah, overall, I'm just happy that the real tribal chief is back, the original tribal chief, the only tribal chief. And, yeah, bye, Solo, because you was tripping. You were tripping. He
Oh
really,
no.
he was tripping, you know?
Roman's
I,
the Roman's the
The
original tribal chief. Solo's the over
original.
the counter tribal
Yes,
chief.
the
Travis.
Timu tribal chief.
Oh man, no. He's
They've also been calling him the
great,
weekend.
great value
Yes.
tribal chief. He's the frosted flakes that cost like a dollar less, but it ain't as good.
It ain't,
He's the
like it's cheaper. It's good for the pockets, but it
Right.
ain't good when you eat it.
It don't even got a tiger on a
No,
it's got the leopard. It ain't
yo,
frosted
a
flakes.
leopard, right?
It's
who
frosty flakes.
A
nah,
cheetah.
you raised a good point. Who is that man stylist, bro? Solo got the funniest
It's
suit
the
game.
Like I
weekday.
guarantee somebody. Hey, hey, yo,
The
yo, yo.
weekday. He is the
The
weekday. The weekday.
His suits are crazy. He wear like a gold like a silver chain or whatever too. That man,
Yeah. I mean, don't
that
get me wrong.
man funny.
I like what they did with Solo, and I think it definitely has grown
Hmm.
on me because I mean, it shows that he really believes in the things that he says, even if it's a little delulu. But he really believes it, and it makes you want to believe it too. And you probably
Right.
would have believed it, but then Roman came back, and that just changed everything. Like if we was leading down that road, drinking Solo's Kool Aid, we
Right.
would have been putting the ones up for him too at some point.
True.
But Roman saw where this was going, and he's looking like y'all really putting ones up for this man. I can't
I
have this.
I
I
feel
think
like it ain't
go
Solo's
ahead.
fault. I think it was too much of a drastic change. You
Hmm.
can't go from a non-talking guy out of nowhere to from
Yeah,
non-talking to just giving these Roman Reigns esque promos out of nowhere. You gotta like ease yourself
he was.
into it or something.
Yeah, the
And they
acknowledge
never.
me, that very first acknowledge me just floored me. It floored me because I was like, who do you think you are, sir?
The
Acknowledge
person
you.
the personality like between all three of those dudes is like very nonsense though. Like they come off kind of funny and goofy,
Yeah.
and I think that's why I like them a little bit. It's because
Oh,
it's something you chuckle about and you laugh
the
about. Li- Like I
the
think I
Tongans,
think
the
yeah.
Tongans definitely they do stuff.
Oh,
Ever since they said Tamatonga was making noises like an animal,
Yes.
he does it on purpose now.
on
You're like,
purpose
oh,
now.
I'm
And it's the same with Tonga Loa. I think he's like being like a big goofball on purpose now. Bro, the eye patch is so funny. He look like Slick Rick, man. Like, like bro, is wilding, and it's funny. But this isn't about them. To me, I 100% agree with your point, Megan. I think having Roman back, you see a bit of like something that was missing on SmackDown, and
Yes. Yes.
it's that star power. It's what these Gen Z kids call aura.
Yeah.
And aura, and he is a bona fide superstar to say the very least. I said it
Absolutely.
I said it yesterday on the Friday episode of the Daily when we were talking about what we thought Roman was gonna do. He has made mainstream professional wrestling cool again from when the
Yeah.
tribal chief character came apart, right? He's brought new life into the WWE and why people are tuning in on a weekly basis. And that is that is a testament to him. Like he's that star. He's got the same like he has a level of star power that we talk about like back in the day, like we all in the same age bracket, right? We all
Right.
around the same age, and we grew up on the Attitude Era. We grew up on like the Ruthless Aggression era, and we've seen like so many, especially the Attitude Era, so many superstars, man. It wasn't just
Yeah.
one guy. Like you had a Austin, you had a Rock, you had a Undertaker, you had a Foley, you had a Triple H. Like you had so many
Yeah.
dudes. Where nowadays it feels like you don't have as much, right? Like you got some, but you don't have it at that level. And he's like one of those guys. Like if you threw him in the Attitude Era, I feel like he wouldn't miss a step. His character could resonate
Yeah.
back in the day too.
Yeah. Him, LA Knight. There's a few of them. There's a few of them. I mean, a few, not too many, but a few that I
Yeah,
feel like would fit. They wouldn't,
and
like be
and
out
that's
of
and
place.
it's okay, and that is okay too. That's not to you know to bash the current era. I'm not saying it like
Absolutely.
that because
Yeah.
because you I think this is a fun era of WWE in my opinion. I feel like it's not quite what we've had back in the day, but it's not a bad thing. It's a different it's more focused. We have more centric storylines now that Hunter has taken over, and
Right.
I don't care. I know people like to give him a lot of crap because of like he be boosting his own ego. I think the Paul Levesque era has been
Why not? Why not?
beneficial to
Why
WWE
not?
and pro wrestling.
Yeah. And I just want to add this one thing. Just before his match um with Cody, I think it was last year, the word still echoes because Roman said that when he's gone, we're going to miss him. We're going to know that the grass is not greener on the other side. And we like, yeah, boy, bye. Like you done had the belt for almost 4 years, retired, you're taking over, be gone. And for those 3 months, 4 months that he's been gone, we got Solo. And boy, did we miss Roman. We tweeted
Mhm.
him, we tagged him and stuff, and we told him, we need you. Come back. Okay? You rest enough. Come back. And he heard our prayers. He
Right.
came back and miraculously, like you said, without really saying anything, without doing anything,
That's a good word.
he has went from a heel to a face miraculously. And I don't know how that's going to play out with both Cody and Roman,
Hmm.
who was once mortal enemies. Now they're both on the same side, on the same brand.
Yeah.
But I trust Triple H. I trust Triple H. I trust that he's going to figure out how to make them two both
It's
coexist together.
It
mhm.
if the focus is Roman, feuding with Solo, we can step away from that. I'm not mixing them two together in a storyline anytime soon,
Right.
cause
The Island of
fan
Revolution.
fans ain't gonna root for Cody versus this version of Roman Reigns,
Oh, definitely not.
No,
No.
not
and
right now.
and
Not
I
right
don't,
now.
yeah, I don't want to ruin that for the Mister what do you want to talk about? So, but nah, it's great, man. I love that was a spotlight topic, Megan. Super fun. Uh, we got our next topic, and this is a person that I have really recently become a fan of this year as well as Dryzyy. And I'm excited for you to kind of break it down. The super talented Rio.
So where I do the bulk of my indie wrestling for the week for the year, I look at the WrestleMania weekend. You know, the GCW Collective normally has shows going from the entire week of Mania. So from that Monday before Mania all the way to the Monday after, there are over 100 shows about. And this weekend, particularly this year, I came across Riho, who is currently the Progress Women's Champion, and have been obsessed for these last few months because of it. Because she is something to see. A aggressive, powerful woman. It's not a it's she takes that it pretty of not getting pretty wins. She There's no such thing as a pretty win to her. She is getting the hard hitting wins, and at that she's learning to. It's almost like learning to survive and thrive, being set up against different challenges all the time. The bulk of the matches I've seen from her this year have been against Lana Austin, which I think is probably her puzzle piece. They get in the ring together and it just makes sense. It looks great. I also became a fan of Lana Austin through Riho. So she's a gateway for me. I'm gonna give you some numbers because currently, like, I wanted to know more about her after this. She is in the top. There's only been 10 Progress Women's Champions. She's number 5 right now in title reigns. As of today, she is 294 days as the Progress Women's Champion, and as of tomorrow, she will be in the top three in time and passing the previous champion, Lana Austin's reign. Well, she'll be tied with her, and in another 200 days, she will. If she continues on this trajectory, she has the ability to be the longest reigning Progress Women's Champion because seeing her in the ring, I don't see anybody who's beating her. I don't see how anybody can match her intensity, her prowess in the ring. She has incredible ring sense, and she's just she. Now, I'll give her this. She has aura, whatever the kids say nowadays. And and what makes it even better is the fact that she is a black woman in the UK as a champion and is a dominant champion. She's been on the Black Wrestling Top 500 list the past couple of years, and I think of black women wrestlers, I want to say she might be second all time, third all time, behind only Jazz and Athena as having super long title reigns. Um, So that is my spotlight. I give you Riho. Probably somebody who this year should be up for Women Wrestler of the Year and probably have feud of the year this year with Lana Austin because it has been a incredible thing to see. And I thank you, Ben, for making me for having me live tweet it because that is what opened the door for me to go start looking at progress because and with the way WWE does their business and how UK NXT UK went, we kind of forget that progress was a thing. But she has been one of the pieces that has made brought progress back to the forefront of UK wrestling. And I think this, if we all pay attention to Riho like I think we should be, this has a chance to bring progress back to the front of wrestling as a whole.
Okay.
I agree with you 100%. Um, Rio is she's definitely got star power. Um, from what she does in ring wise, like you said, incredible wrestler, and she's got that look. She just has an aesthetic that makes you look at her when she's wrestling, look at her when she comes out to the ring, and be like, I'm very intrigued to see what this woman is going to do because
Right.
she looks so different than other counterparts. And like you were saying, that aura thing, that's a real thing, right? Like you can tell when a superstar enters into the arena and they just command your attention like how like a Jade Cargill does it, right? Or like whatever superstar you want to name, you're just instantly glued and be like, I need to watch what they do, and if
Hmm.
I like it, I am going to stand the hell out of them because
Yes,
they just look cool, and if they can match
Right.
being that
she,
cool, that's even better. But um,
she's
it's
very. If you're gonna compare her to somebody that's in North America right now, I would say she's the female Obafemi. Take away the hype.
yeah, pow-
Okay.
power, strength, looks cool as hell. And yeah, like salute to Ben. Like I gotta give El Jefe his credit. There's a lot of talent out there in the UK, like especially in Progress. Like
Mhm.
when we even watched them do the live stream, like there's some people that I tuned in and watched that I'm just like, oh yeah, I need to follow them because there's something that's gonna pop off for them sooner than later,
Mhm.
regardless of like what it may be. And that's the beauty of it. And Ben is the person. Ben had her number two on his top 10 women's wrestlers this year, ahead of a person like Rhea Ripley, ahead of someone like Bailey, ahead of Roxanne Perez, ahead of Bianca Belair, Jade, a lot of people, some fan favorites that we have in wrestling.
Mhm.
If that doesn't get your mind thinking that, okay, why are these people ranking her so high? I
Mhm.
don't know what it is gonna be because I feel like what Drizzy did, you got to go down that rabbit hole. That
Yes.
rabbit hole is worth it, man. There's so much. Women's wrestling is freaking awesome. Like it is at a point in my life the last few years where I enjoy watching women's wrestling sometimes more than I watch men's wrestling
Oh.
because I feel like it is a point for us. We got to beat that drum to make sure that they get that respect as men. And that goes with anything in life, right? But
Yeah.
especially in the world of pro wrestling.
Mhm.
Um and we gotta like just you know respect them as the stars that they are. Um, Megan, are you familiar with Rio? Have you seen a little bit of her yourself?
Um,
Or
again, I'm not necessarily familiar with her, but I did read one of her interviews where it was a goal that she has to be the longest reigning women's world champion in history.
Mhm.
And honestly, if Drizzy has nothing but high praises for her, then I can't help but to think that that goal she's going to accomplish. But just by the looks of her, yeah, I mean she has the aura or the riz,
There is.
you know, the I feel old, but she looks really really good, and I'm just I'm kind of kicking myself because there's so much more talent outside of North America, outside of WWE, outside of AEW. And, since being on this show covering Spotlight, topics with you guys. I have learned a lot of people that I didn't know prior to, and it's like I said, it's always an honor to be on this show when I can because I always walk away learning or knowing more than I did prior to the show. So now I know there is two Rios, and I will be looking up both of them and keeping track of her title reign because 250 days is very impressive, very
She's
impressive. Is
she's
it
more
past that
than
now?
it'll be 259 tomorrow, and that'll be tied with the third all-time Lana Austin. The
Okay.
record is 452 held by 452 or 457 held by Jenny, Gunther's wife,
Yes, who's
and
super talented
Okay.
too.
I think the only other person ahead of that it may be Tony Storm, the first champion. I may have to look at the numbers again, but
Mm,
it's doable. There's if as time goes on, there's like I don't think their next show's for a little bit, so she'll be firmly third all time soon.
easily.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
Salute to Jenny, by the way, because me being from Bangladesh and her being Indian, having Desi representation in pro wrestling is always dope for me too. I love everything that we're gonna get to see from Raj Desai, formerly known as Jinder Mahal. My boys, man, the Bollywood boys. I love those guys. I love those guys. I was so happy to see them reunite in GCW last week too. It's awesome, man, and I love pro wrestling. I love it so much. I love it being a place for anybody can kind of just go out there and do what they want to do. And yeah, Rio is dope. I do gotta admit, Rio from AEW is still my AEW ace at the end of the day. I saw her live win the AEW inaugural women's championship, and
Mm,
I fell like in love with the character of Rio because I don't know how you can't get behind Rio. That's like another person. How can you not like Rio in AW? She's like the most kawaii, like cool person, bro. She's so dope and super
right.
talented wrestler too. But Drizzy's spotlight for her, yeah, that Rio is amazing too. We got our highlights of the week, and I'm doing an audible, man. We definitely gonna go past the 40 mark because this episode is just clicking like that. It's one of them ones, man. It's one of them ones. So we got our highlights of the week. Who wants to go first? Do you want to go first, Drizzy?
I guess I am.
Or do you want to go first, Megan? Y'all can play rock, paper, scissors for it if y'all want.
Oh, you want to?
Let's do it.
Let's
Hold
Okay.
go.
up. Wait. I gotta get it on the two person thing.
All right,
Go ahead.
all
Okay.
right. Rock,
Rock,
paper, scissors.
scissors.
All
Okay.
right, all right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. What?
Up.
You win. You got it.
All right. Megan, it is
Yes.
on you. You are back on the
Okay.
clock.
I'm gonna make this quick, but my highlight of this week is Montez Ford. It was a post that, well, let me go back. I was watching a video from Max Camp, who used to host the Bump, and he really touched on some topics about the nation of the tag team um, of today across the board. And his main focus was Montez and the Street Profits, and he gave nothing but props and credit to both Montez and Angelo, and felt like they weren't being booked properly. And so there was one specific post that he had shared from last week of Montez where he pretty much just said that he was tired. He was tired of losing. He was tired of being denied. He was tired of waiting. He was tired of having a company that didn't care and stuff. And it made me think maybe this isn't so much of a maybe this is him really voicing out his opinions because when you think of the matter of his wife Bianca, Bianca's good. Bianca's good. You know, some people might even say Bianca is safe. Um, but her husband and her friend are equally as talented, and they're not being showcased as such. And it was a suggestion that Matt had said, and I like the idea of having Montez come out, no music, no fanfare, just come out without Angelo and just do like a pipe bomb, CM Punk style, you know, and just air out his grievances, air out his concerns, his frustrations right there in front of the fans. And I thought that would probably be so good, you know, because let's be honest, we want to see a singles run with Montez. And just like with Bianca and with Jade, you don't necessarily have to feud them or break them up permanently for Montez to have a singles run. You could easily, you know, just have Montez do his thing and have Angelo do his thing. But I also think, despite Angelo's immense talent, if they did separate them, it would probably um, somebody is going to get the short end of the stick, and it will more than likely be Angelo. So um, I said I was going to make this short, but I lied. But I'm just really hoping that we will eventually see a change in the Street Profits. You could see they had a little bit of aggression behind them yesterday. Um, it's been 3 years since they held a title. They won a title. They deserve a title. So that is my highlight of the week.
I like it. I think there is a very important conversation to have in regards to the booking of the Street Profits too. In my opinion, I think they should be historically in the same breath as a tag team as borderline to what the Usos and the New Day do. In my opinion,
Absolutely.
They
they are
should definitely
just
be that number three.
hmm
Just you got Usos and New Day up here, right below
right below them.
Street
should
Profits.
be the Street Profits.
And it is frustrating because Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins are two of the more talented guys on that roster. I look at the SmackDown Tag Team division. If you asking me who I'm taking out of all of those guys, and that's DIY, that's God, that's A Town Down Under, I'm taking the Street Profits.
Yeah.
Eyes closed. I'm taking the Street Profits because they, as a tag team, are so freaking good, but there's so much to them as just individual stars, and
Um,
a lot of the conversation goes to what Montez Ford is as a star.
Hmm.
Angelo Dawkins is not far behind him at all.
Right.
That
I'll go
man,
as far as saying they've evened out now over time because
mm,
Dawkins has slimmed down. He's
yeah,
not wearing those. He's not. He just stepped up his clothes game because it used to be sweats and a
that's
half of a blazer now, bro. And the headband. He's not doing that no more. He's got a fresh lineup
Absolutely.
every week.
Yes.
He's
Yes.
dressed to impress every week. He's slimmed down, and he's doing high flying moves that we
yeah,
be normally seeing Tez do.
Yeah.
facts. And he's got that, like he's got the same damn charisma too, like Tez has. It's just in a different way. He's awesome, man. Both of them dudes are awesome, and I want to see talented people be put into the best position, and
Right.
that's kind of where I'm at with it because we give people opportunities and they sometimes it seems like they don't really deserve it as much, or they you
Hmm.
give them the opportunity and it doesn't work out as much. And I feel like the Street Profits have grown so much from when they got called up to where they are now. Like they're vets now on the main roster at this point, and
Yep.
them being in the holding pattern is kind of whack. They never give them an opportunity to be in the compelling storyline in a little bit. So, Paul, I'm talking to you. I'm pleading to you. Let's do right to the Street Profits. Like we said, they got B Fab, man. They got B Fab with them. B Fab, man, beautiful young lady coming out there looking like a billion quadrillion dollars every time. She's got that aura too. Like they
Yep.
they are they are they're like a complete package as a unit. I want to see them be pushed to the damn moon if we can,
Yes.
because
Yep.
the fans love them. They always get reaction. They're fun. Street Profits are dope, man. I want to see them get, and I'm glad that you brought that up too. So we'll see what happens though. All right, Drizzy, you're up next. Give me
All
your
right.
highlight of the week.
My highlight of the week is the return of the big three. And no, I'm not talking about Wade, Bosch, and LeBron. I'm talking about Naomi, Jade Cargill, and Bianca Belair. There is something about when you get three powerful figures all in the same place at the exact same time. The stars align and you just feel it in your bone. Last night on SmackDown, we saw those three names appear together, and it just did something to my soul. It felt good. It was mania all over again. You never see three black women on the same side in the ring together showing a united front like that. And it just anytime that I see it, I have to call it out because it looks so good. And it's something that we don't get in wrestling. Wrestling is not rooted in projecting African Americans in the correct light anyway. But this is just seeing that I can just see little girls all over the world lighting up as they say, "Hey, they look like me. They have hair like me. They have afros, barrettes, all that just like me. They have braids just like me." And that inspires your neck. That's how you keep things like this going. That's how you keep wrestling going is by inspiring the youth. And I'm pretty sure all black women, little black girls everywhere are empowered just from seeing the three of them together on screen at one time. That is my spotlight. No, we gotta try to keep it under an hour. So
Yeah, we're gonna keep it under an hour because my topic probably won't be too long. But you know what, man? You raised a great point, and I love seeing them back together as a team. And I feel last night's SmackDown, and I know this was a hot topic on the daily earlier. Salute to the bro Chaos. I
mhm.
gotta tell you this, Chaos. I highly disagree with a lot you said earlier today. Um, I Bianca, you have a Bianca Belair, a Naomi, a Jade Cargill, a Tiffany Stratton, a Nia Jax, a Bailey, and you only give them 2 minutes of time last night in a match. Like, what are we really doing on SmackDown right now, bro? Like that type of time is really crazy to me. But I feel like I'm putting Bianca, Jade, and all of them on my TV as much as I can. Like that
Yeah.
big three is a big three. Like you don't get called big three without being big time. And I love seeing them back as a unit. I'm excited for this 6 woman feud between them and the Unholy Union too.
Yes.
I hope they get it. I hope give them the match at Bash at the Berlin if you're gonna do it, right? Like
Yeah.
they deserve to be in every damn pay per view you can put them on. Like you
Mhm.
see, Jade's entrance last night was amazing. Like it felt special last night. Bianca and her just synchronizing with outfits that aren't even on like wrestling gear too. Like I love their dynamic. I love their friendship. It's like a
Yeah.
real like sisterhood between them, and they're if anybody says anything, I feel like the intro to Love Sosa. If anyone say talk about Chief Keef, I I feel like I gotta say that about Bianca, bro. Like you
It's
can't talk
true.
bad about Bianca Belair.
There's
She's
there's there's nothing that you could say bad about her. She's
Like
talented,
I
she's
said,
strong, she
you
looks
came at
good while she does it. The kids love her. You know you have a good spirit when the children are
Yep.
drawn to you. Because children know, they know.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
even
Mm-hmm.
when, real quick, how Jade picked up Alba and had her suspended in the air. And then if you look down at the corner of your screen, you even see she had Bianca gagged. Like Bianca looked at it like, wow, that's my best friend. Like you could tell she really is supporting Jade, and I'm just happy to see the big three back too. It's good to see Naomi back on TV looking like Foxy Brown. She came out with her hair out. She looked good.
yeah,
And I'm with you. Book them for Bash at Berlin.
man, book them for everything. Book them,
Yes.
give them every freaking belt you could give them.
Like if
I'm
we said
so serious about it too. Like,
they're seriously going into factions for everything, let's
Yeah,
go ahead. I mean, we got a three-person unholy union now. Go ahead and make this a thing now. They can run
yeah,
everything. Women's tag and the WWE Women's Championship.
a
period.
hundred percent, 100%. And I don't care how you cut it. Like you can make it. You have literally, like, I don't think people realize, like, that's a legitimate big three. Like, Bianca is LeBron, right? Jade is. I'm gonna give Jade Bosch for now, and I'm gonna give Naomi D Wade, cause I
Being
think
Chris
Naomi
Bosh is
is D
not
Wade.
being Chris Bosh is
He's
not
not bad.
a bad thing. He is an all-star player.
Hmm. Right? Like, she is a. It works. Oh God, we're doing. I love this. We're doing NBA comparisons to this, right? Jade is Bosch because she was a big time player in a
Hmm.
smaller place, which was
Hmm.
AW, put in big numbers. Now in WWE, different role. The numbers ain't as high volume, but it still matters when you need it.
Hmm.
Right.
Bianca Belair is the LeBron James of women's wrestling.
Hmm.
Um, and that is like the most accurate thing that I can probably ever make within a sports comparison to a wrestler, because everything in the aspect of just being an absolute beast when it comes to athletics, but the accolades, all of that. And Naomi is like Dwayne Wade. She has put in a lot of work, has won the title at times, and people overshadow it in a lot of it. And that is a legitimate big three. Like, the parallel to them, to the big three in Miami Heat, is really cool to see. And I'm giving one of those women the SmackDown Women's title, and then I'm making the other two tag champs, and then them walking out there with, decked out in gold. That'd be the dopest thing, bruh.
Ooh, that's going to make so many people angry. You know how that is.
I know how it is, and I don't really care at all about them, because they can go ahead and cry all they want. Cry me a river, as my buddy Jack
Oh
Perry
Lord,
says.
yeah, real glass,
Yeah,
real glass.
real glass.
Real glass, right? Salute to the scapegoat. Um, I'm gonna get to my highlight of the week, and it is going to be from the G1 this past week. New Japan's got the G1. If you haven't watched it, watch it. They have incredible wrestling matches throughout the entire process. I think we're on day 14, but mine's comes from day 12. It is Konosuke Takeshita versus El Phantasmo, not Logan Paul. He's better than Logan Paul. Don't compare him to that bum. And they had an absolute banger match between each other in the G1. A classic, one of the best matches I've seen this entire year. Physical, to say the very least. Konosuke Takeshita has been on a generational run on this G1, and I am super excited for when he returns back to the States on AW. This is a guy that I would strap a rocket to and let him soar as high as he can, because Konosuke Takeshita looks like an absolute stud. Just a big brolic dude who gonna whoop ass throughout any time, and he is so damn good in ring wise. Let's course correct Tony. Let's get him out of this callous stuff, or just whatever it may be. This guy needs to win gold at some point. He can be a world champion. He can be a mid card champion, whatever you want to cut it to be at some point. Because he's the price is rising up after this G1. He's been the MVP of the G1s thus far. So I'm gonna go with ELP and to catch the and salute to ELP because that man is a lot better than that bum Logan Paul. I don't care what
Mm,
nobody says. This isn't me bashing Logan Paul because he's a dummy, right? But that dude is so good, and he's such a good dance partner as well. And that's one of the things in pro wrestling that people don't like understand. You can't always like get your stuff in. Being able to make someone look great as well is so pivotal in the sport, and he's an incredible dance partner. So that's my highlight of the week. Y'all gotta watch it if y'all haven't seen it so far.
So
yeah. I haven't
uh,
gotten a chance to see any of the G6 G1
Like a
matches,
G6.
but excuse me, it's late. But that just made me want to watch it because I when I watch his matches on AEW, I mean, he like with anybody else, he has a he's just his talent just surpasses what most people would give him. And um you know, look, if you said that match was something to watch, I'm gonna believe it 100%. I'm not even gonna doubt it.
Yeah.
gotta say, I love what the G1 does. Every year they produce at least one or two of match of the year candidates. This is the one that'll be match of the year, and the fact that I feel like ELP, this was his coming out party. I
Hmm.
know it's been a bit of a year for him and everything that go has gone on with Bullet Club in general. He is
Yeah.
now on an island of his own, pretty much, because yeah, there's no more for real. The War Dogs are taking over, and he getting ready to lose Hikaleo. So if he hasn't lost him
Yeah.
already, so he's
Yeah.
kind of been thrown to the wolves. And instead of curling up and dying, he's putting on bangers like this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So much love and salute to ELP.
Yeah. Not for sure. It has been quite a year for him, and that's that comes to the end of this show because, like y'all said, we gotta definitely get before the hour. Hopefully, Ben don't yell at me. Y'all don't get a business call or whatnot. But I appreciate y'all always, man. This is a Sunday spotlight. We are back next week, same time, 5 p.m. Eastern time, 10 p.m. UK, 2 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Central. Keep rocking with us. Keep watching
Up
everything else that we have.
11 a.m. in Hawaii because Clark is not here. Gotta add that too.
11. This is why she's the GOAT. She's able to do that because I only read what's on the bottom of the banner. But but nah, man, appreciate y'all. And yeah, we'll be back next week. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Deuces, ooses.